Saint Abba Anthony, while living once in the desert, fell into acedia and a great darkening of his thoughts. So he said to God, "Lord, I want to be saved, but my thoughts will not let me. What am I to do in this sorrow of mine? How can I be saved?" He then stepped outside his cell for a little while, and he saw someone who looked like himself. That man sat and worked with his hands. Then he set aside his handiwork, stood up and prayed, and again he sat down and wove palm fibers. After that, he stood up once more to pray, and it was an angel of the Lord, sent to correct and strengthen Anthony. Anthony then heard the angel say to him, "Do this, and you will be saved." Hearing these words, he received great joy and courage, and by doing thus, he was saved. Abba Anthony himself, contemplating the depths of God's judgments, once asked, "Lord, how is it that some live only a short time on earth, while others reach a great old age? And why are some in poverty while others are rich? And how is it that the unjust prosper while the righteous live in need?" And he heard a voice saying to him, "Anthony, look to yourself. These things are arranged by God according to his judgment, and it is not to your benefit to learn them." Abba Anthony said to Abba Pemin, "Here is the great work of a person, to take upon himself before God responsibility for his own faults, and to expect temptations until his last breath." He also said, "No one can enter the kingdom of heaven without being tested by temptations. Remove temptations, and no one will be found who is being saved." Abba Pambo asked Abba Anthony, "What should I do?" And the elder said to him, "Do not place confidence in your own virtue. Do not regret what has already passed, and master your tongue and your stomach." Abba Anthony said, "I saw all the snares of the enemy, that is the devil, spread out over the earth. And I groaned and said, who then can pass through them without being captured? And I heard a voice say to me, humility." Again he said, "Some have worn out their bodies with asceticism, but because they lack discernment, they found themselves far from God." Again he said, "Life and death depend on our neighbor. If we win our brother, we win God. If we scandalize our brother, we sin against Christ." Again he said, "As fish die when they linger on dry land, so monks lose their strength for stillness when they tarry outside their cell or spend time with lay people. Therefore, just as the fish must quickly return to the sea, so must we hasten to return to the cell, lest by lingering outside we forget the inner life." Again he said, "He who sits in the desert in stillness is freed from 3 battles, the battle of hearing, the battle of speech, and the battle of action. He has only one battle left, the battle of the heart." Some brothers once went to Abba Anthony to tell him about visions they were seeing and to learn from him whether they were true or came from demons. They also had a donkey with them which had died on the way. When they arrived, the elder anticipated them and said, "How did the little donkey die on the road?" They said to him, "How do you know that, Abba?" And he replied, "The demons revealed it to me." They answered, "We came to ask you about this very matter. We see visions and many of them turn out true. Are we perhaps being deceived?" And the elder informed them, using the proof he had received concerning the donkey, that their visions came from demons. A man who was hunting wild animals in the desert once saw Abba Anthony joking with the brothers, and he was scandalized. Wanting to teach him that it is sometimes necessary to condescend to the brethren, the elder said, "Put an arrow in your bow and draw it." He did so. The elder said, "Draw it more." And he did. Again he said, "Draw it even more." The hunter replied, "If I draw it too much, the bow will break." And the elder said, "So it is with the work of God. If we stretch the brethren too greatly, they will break. Therefore we must occasionally be lenient with them." Hearing this, the hunter was touched and left greatly benefited by the elder, and the brothers, strengthened, returned to their place. A certain monk was highly praised by the brothers before Abba Anthony. When he came to the elder, Anthony tested him to see whether he could endure humiliation. Discovering that he could not, he said to him, "You are like a village that is splendid and adorned in front, but behind is being plundered by robbers." A brother said to Abba Anthony, "Pray for me." The elder said, "Neither I have mercy on you, nor will God, if you yourself do not hasten to plead with him."